Hey, everybody, welcome. See you next season podcast. We are on episode 8, and we're bringing you some fire. Well, it's over here, actually. So, yeah, got Ian here. We're deep into opening season and resorts opening. So, we're going to have a chat about some fun roommate stuff and a couple important PSAs. So, Ian, I'll let you kind of get us started.
So we've obviously got a nice new background. We've got Matt and I kicking back in this beautiful pad. We've got an outdoor fireplace. Sorry, guys, if you're working a ski season, you won't be living in luxury like this. You'll be crammed in pretty tight. And you've given up your right to privacy. You'll be paying a fortune for rent, etc. So getting the right roommates is pretty crucial. So this is what we're doing. Matt and I have we've done our fair share of share households and about 20, 30 years ago, but things haven't changed. It's still the same story. We see all these ads on people looking for roommates, and the standard ad is basically, I'm super chill, love the outdoors, I'll be working hard, skiing hard. You barely notice that I'm there. And you think, geez, there's a lot of great roommates going around. They're all perfect, but the reality is that doesn't always happen in ski resorts. You get tension going on.
And if you hit Facebook, it's like, you hit Facebook and it's like, I'm clean, I'm tidy, I never go out. Really, wow, look at all these great roommates. Yeah, probably not.
No, it doesn't always happen. So we've compiled a list of roommates you got to be a bit careful of, and some warning signs. So the first one I've got on my list is the stoner, where they say they're an outdoorsy type, but literally they're not. They're just basically wedded to a couch with a bong in one hand and packet of corn chips in the other, and they basically don't move and end up just getting stinky and staying there for hours on end, just like this blob in the corner.
Yeah, I kind of remember on one of our earlier episodes, we talked about it, but there was somebody looking for housing on Instagram or Facebook, and it was pictures of the house, and it was like all the pictures were great except the one where they forgot to remove the bong and all the paraphernalia from like on the coffee table. I'm like, wow. Not only are roommates that are not looking for that going to be bummed, but if your landlord sees it, yeah, I'm sure he or she is going to be super stoked.
Yeah, a pretty good sign that you've got a stoner. There's a stoner in the household is if you go to a interview and they pass around a bong, the very first thing they do, it's like you're not exactly an outdoorsy type. Yeah. So
well, hey, and if you want to get stoned and that's your thing, great. Yeah, go for it. But be respectful of your roommates, like especially in the States. Like it doesn't matter if you're in the town of Vail, the second you cross onto the lift, you're now on, well, if you smoke on the gondola, and I think I've mentioned this, we've done closing day and with the sheriff's department and the Forest Service. And it's like, the fact is, whether you agree or disagree, like if you're in the town of Vail, it's legal because it's Colorado, but it's also illegal to smoke weed in public. And then you get on a gondola. So you step across the town of Vail into the forest area, the wilderness area, whatever it might be. In that case, White River National Forest in Vail. You step over that line and you light up a joint on the gondola. You've now broken 3 laws. So you are now smoking in public, illegal, number 1. You're now smoking on public transportation on a gondola, strike number 2. And you're now smoking on federal land because marijuana is not legal at the federal level, strike 3. So I actually had an employee that did that on a gondola with a Forest Service ranger who was off duty with his 2 kids. Before he got to the top, yeah. And he told the 2 guys, he's like, hey man, you should probably put that out now because there's going to be a forest ranger at the top to arrest you. So yeah, whether it's roommates or other, just know the code, man. And maybe that's another good point to bring up. I don't know if you saw the enhanced skier code now. They added several things to it. So if you don't know that, we could post that up on Facebook, but it was out there. And it has been enhanced, I think 10 items now. So we can throw those out there, but yeah, I'm kind of getting off topic, but I guess that kind of came up in the bong pot roommate.
Yeah, we used to have ads in our in search of roommates ads that if in Australia, if you said the house was in a green leafy suburb, it was code that there would be pot smoking going on. I'm not saying don't do it, but just be wary that, you know, if you want to smoke a lot of dope, you probably want to move into a household where there's a lot of dope already being smoked. So, the next one I've got is the I've called it the bad housemate is the shagger. So, I mean, it's getting a bit creepy old men here talking about young people having sex, but it does happen. And the last thing you want to do in a tight household situation is to shag your roommate. It's like it gets awkward really quickly.
Don't do it.
Or if you do it, have a bloody good hard think about it. Last thing you want to do is get on the beers and wake up next to your roommate. It gets so awkward so quickly. And if you do need to leave your household because of a situation like that, you may not have a place to go.
Yeah. And whether you've gone to college or not, if you have gone to college at that point and you think back to the dorm days, you're going to have like a nightmare reliving the dorm days where you wake up with your roommate doing their business with someone. Yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah, play it.
Version 2, the second round is even worse.
Now I'm saying, well, we had a situation where this guy roommate brought back a girl to our place, and he and we said, oh, you know, have a good night. Oh yeah. Oh, well, she must, and he goes, she must have been rich. She was staying at the Four Seasons. And we're like, and you brought her back to our scungy household. I was like, dude, you know, play away games if you're going to, you know, it makes life a fair bit easier.
Well, and it's hard there too, because like one bedroom, you might be sharing with 3 or 4 people. So hence my reference to the dorm experience, if you had one.
Yeah, keep it discreet, guys.
Yeah, be smart about it. You can also throw in there, maybe number 3 is my dirty Dan. Don't be dirty Dan.
Yeah,
just, you know, it's the roommate that comes home and just leaves their shit outside. They're crap everywhere. They make a meal and just leave the sink full of dishes. It's hard on the place for your landlord, but it sucks, man. You get up in the morning and you're going to go ski powder or go to work or whatever, and it's just filth. Like, that's not fun. And
yeah, the worst type of dirty Dan too is the one that creates an enormous amount of mess and has zero tolerance if you leave a spoon out. I mean, it's
right.
And on a completely separate note, I'd like to send a shout out to my brother Andrew. Hi mate, how you doing?
My brother Brody was also a dirty Dan. That's how I learned to be a clean Dan, because I watched him penalized growing up. It's like watching a horrible soccer match, just constant cards. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, you're losing, going out with your buddies and stuff. I just didn't do that. So, yeah, the dirty Dan is not a fun situation.
My next one is the party animal. Yeah, if just get on the, you know, people are going to have fun in ski towns. That's a given. But get on the same schedule. You know, if you're the standard ad is I don't bring the party home, and it's like, yeah, well that always doesn't happen. Sometimes you do bring the party home, but if you've got a guy who's got to wake up at 6 a.m. to run lifts or whatever, do an early morning job, the last thing they want is 4 a.m. people going ballistic in their bedroom. So just schedule it right. Talk to your roommates. Say, hey guys, do you want to have a party tonight? Yep. Agree. Okay, go for it.
Yep. Oh, what else you got?
I've got the plain useless person. And like, you can spot them a mile away. They come in, they come from a privileged background. they get into trouble all the time because they haven't lived out of home before. They're probably in the 18 to 20 age group.
Yeah.
And they're just hopeless. They lose stuff. They can't pay rent. They're always complaining that they're broke, yet you see them out the night before on a cocktail fueled bender where they're spending $20 a drink, and then they sook about not having money for rent, and you've got to cover them, and you just got to baby these these people. They need looking after, but geez, you don't want to do that job.
Yeah,
Last thing you want to do is have to babysit some 19-year-old kid who's just doesn't have his shit together.
Yeah, that was kind of like one of mine, the broker. We always called them the brokers, just which was code. They're not brokering anything. They're just broke all the time. It's just a good code. Like you sponge, whatever. Yeah, you don't want a spongy. That's not fun.
Yeah.
No brokers.
Yeah. I'm just going to give a shout out to one of the best roommates I ever had. He was an English guy, and yeah, just a lovely bloke, super easy to live with. But he actually worked in a commercial cake kitchen. So these are the guys who make cakes for restaurants, and they made beautiful cakes. And there was a slight deformity, like a deformity in one of them, or something slightly wrong, and the cake would get rejected. So Jan used to bring them home every. He'd bring home a Black Forest cake virtually every day, or a pavlova or something. And so get a if your roommate works in a kitchen, that's a good sign. They're going to be bringing home good food.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The other good roommates are people who, ski techs who can run your skis over a wax machine if needed.
Yeah,
bike techs who can fix your bike.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else you got?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just be careful. Just although unfortunately this late in the season, you're pretty much having to take what you can get in terms of roommates. So you're just going to have to negotiate those little problems during the season by yourself. Go with an open, tolerant mind, and realize that your right to privacy and super cleanliness is probably gone.
Yeah, and you could also get a really good roommate, also known as the surfer, and you don't want to be a surfer, but if you have a roommate that's a surfer, it's great because you basically have your own place, right? Because they're surfing couches all the time. I don't know if it's for ladies, for dudes, depending on if you have a male or female, whatever roommate. But yeah, if you can get a surfer, man, you're stoked, right? In a ski town, because there ain't no surfing going on other than couches. So that's another good one. So I think this might be a good time also to do a little PSA. So one thing that we're seeing right now, and in fact, if you check out the website, there's a ton of updates, a lot of cleanup, fine tuning of things. Also a ticker on the homepage for employers that are on there. So I think there's 80 now, which is freaking awesome. So if you're out there and you're looking to take an adventure and go work, you need to be using the site, because every day there's more and more employers joining, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So it's going to be, the quintessential way to go about finding seasonal work, and maybe getting multiple offers so you can get the best deal out there with housing or whatever. But again, as we were talking, another good point is go pause your profile or update it, because we're already seeing surf schools and summer operations starting to reach out and look for workers. So if you've got a gig, great. And I know we've mentioned this, but if you got a gig, great. Whatever your situation is, pause your profile, but better is go update it for what you're going to do in summer. Again, if you already have that plan, then pause it. Okay, fine. But go get down what you want to do in summer, because we're having more and more employers starting to look ahead to spring. So that's my PSA. Update, go check out the site. It's got some new stuff.
One thing that we do know that what employers are doing is they are really, really red hot on when your profile's last been updated. So when you do an update, your profile goes to the top of the list. but it also gets a date stamp on it saying last update, November 30. And employers will see that date and go, yep, okay, this guy's really active or this girl's really active. Let's send them a message. If they don't see an update for 3 or 4 months, you're not going to attract too much attention.
Yep. So go have fun, use your nugget, and go update your profile, because spring is going to be here before you know. Start planning ahead now. If you don't have that in place, start looking at that. Again, check out the site. Going to be a lot more changes coming Jan 1, so look out for that. But yeah, we're getting a boatload of activity and lots more employers joining. So hit us up with questions. We'll be putting some new videos out soon. But yeah, get yourself set for spring now. And again, another thing too, that I want to throw in there is seeing some amazing jobs thrown out and offers thrown out and people denying them because they're still holding out for Whistler, BAMP, whatever. Man, if you're listening to this, it's too late. Okay. I mean, what was the one you saw, Ian? Somebody turned down a barista job with housing because they were
ski out housing. And it's like crazy that.
Yeah,
it's
don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that guy's still looking, so we're sending out profiles to him straight away. So
oh, for sure. And it's like, look, this isn't an ending. All right, it's a sidestep and a small pivot. Go to the other place, have the season, get the local relationships, and then move forward next year. Don't go off the cliff. If you have an offer like that, you don't say no. Holding out for a wing and a prayer. But anyway, well,
I got one final message.
Yeah.
Keep your rooms, keep the common areas of the house reasonably clean.
Put your bongs away.
bongs away unless you're in a bong household.
Right.
Don't get drunk and shag your roommate. Be discreet as well. I mean, it's a long season. You're probably looking at 5 months living with somebody with a bunch of people in tight spaces. Just be like that perfect roommate on all those ads, be the outdoorsy type who's respectful and blah, 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 blah. Yep.
And go check out the new site updates and get your profile updated. We'll see you on the next episode. Later.
Awesome, guys. See ya.